Hi everyone, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. It's such a beautiful day here in the Rocky Mountains. I thought I'd film my video intro outside. I wanted to give you a quick update on the 3 videos from the last 3 weeks of the VIP Masterclass series, in case you'd like to join. The first week was advanced pedal techniques, feathering out the pedal, some really cool stuff there. 2 weeks ago was tips for the coda of the Beethoven Appassionata Sonata of the third movement. And then last week was a really cool exercise that has been helping my students lately called the collapsing beat exercise. Good for scales, arpeggios, or any fast passage that you're having a hard time getting up to speed. Really helps to improve speed. So if you have any questions, click on the VIP link below. Now on to today's video. Hi everyone, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. Today's episode is kind of a silly little title. It's like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to call this yet, so you'll see in the YouTube title, but I'm guessing it'll be like dessert and rubato. How much rubato to actually take. The analogy comes a lot of times when I'm teaching from this notion that students either don't do enough rubato, which is the pushing and pulling of time, or they do way too much. And here's a common waltz that many students like to start with by Chopin. And the best performance of this I've ever heard is actually of one of my teachers, Sergei Babayan. He played this at a little concert in Ohio, and the piano was awful. I felt so bad for him. It was out of tune. It was very poorly regulated, and he still was able to, kind of produce miracles with the piano. And it was so subtle and so brilliant. If you want even more conservative tastes, in my personal opinion, is someone like Arthur Rubinstein. Rubinstein has impeccable taste with Chopin. It's never overstated, but I never find it to be boring, especially in the nocturnes and waltzes. But if you want a little bit more risque style or a little bit more allure, you can look at pianists like Babayan or his student Daniel Trifonov, or some of these, like Courteau, for instance, who is such a master of Chopin. They do lots with rubato. So how much is too much? How do you know when it sounds good? You have to just experiment a lot. And there is no answer for how much is the right amount. But getting back to my analogy, I'll often talk to students like, okay, if you eat cake for your appetizer, main meal, and dessert, you're going to feel sick. Or if you order a steak and you like steak sauce and you put a little sauce on it, it enhances the flavor of the steak. But if you dump the entire bottle onto the steak, your meal is ruined, because all you'll be tasting is the sauce. The sauce is like the rubato, or the cake is like rubato. It can enhance a really good thing. The meat, the entree, the appetizer, that is all your notes, your rhythm, the dynamics, everything else, and then the rubato enhances that. So if you have no dessert, you might be craving some at the end, and that's kind of like students playing flat. Flat in regards to time is what I meant. And if you have too much, and sometimes, I'm not going to say Courteau does too much because I love Courteau's playing, but he's a unique guy and he kind of has his style mastered. But if you start to imitate Courteau, you'll probably end up sounding kind of weird because you don't have his sense of refinement, okay? So if you do too much, and I haven't heard Courteau play this particular waltz, I need to go listen to it, but so I'm not saying this is how he plays it, but you can venture into dangerous territory if you're imitating pianists like Courteau or Daniel Trifonov, or these people that have very refined senses of rubato that are very personalized to them. So you have to develop your own voice and figure out how much is too much. This would be too much. Okay, that's way too much. It's distasteful. But let me take those same concepts and back them off a little bit. Okay? So again, that's very tasteful. And you may not like everything I did. That's your personal opinion. But you have to admit there was some allure to that. Some, intriguing qualities. It wasn't just this flat type of playing. And that's what I want you to search for in your practice. Search to sing with your melody at all times. Search to have the right notes, the right dynamics, the right rhythms, obviously. Notes and rhythm are obviously givens, but you need to have those. Good pedaling. But once all of that's taken care of, like the dessert or the sweetness that will come in the piece is often gleaned through taking time and using rubato and rushing ahead a little bit and then pulling back. That's what makes the piece natural and organic. If you think of a tree, it doesn't shoot out of the ground and then suddenly die. It's a very gradual process. So when you're using rubato, don't go sudden, or with your dynamics, the same concepts. Everything grows and dies gradually. It can grow quickly in a gradual way, or it can grow slowly in a gradual way. When I say gradual, I'm not saying it needs to take forever. I'm saying it has to be rounded. So, you'd never want to accent it, just like you'd never want to suddenly speed up. It's very gradual. Maybe that time I won't take as much time there, so I can save it for here. Let's see. Let's do a little more, just so you can kind of hear a different style. Here, this is the next section here. Sorry, I keep screwing that up. And so forth. So you have a lot of different variety within a section. For instance, if it's a little more upbeat, you saw I was a little more free with the time. On these more tragic parts, I like it a little simpler. So I hope this has been helpful. If any of you have any questions, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. Also, thank you to all of those who have donated to our Christmas album. Also to Pro Practice or Josh Wright Piano TV. We are truly grateful for your support and wish you all the best in your practicing. Have a great week.